Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
Alessandra and Edgar travel to the church to get married before they are intervened by her stepmother. However, whispers of a sinister plot involving missing women and a shadowy figure named William Lancaster begin to surface. As Alessandra prepares for the wedding, she feels a growing sense of dread, questioning her own safety and the true intentions of those around her. Will Alessandra be able to uncover the truth about the missing women and William Lancaster? Is the Collins family truly involved in the disappearances, or are they innocent victims themselves? Can Alessandra escape the impending marriage and find a way to live her own life? Will she find an ally in Edgar, her reluctant escort, or will he betray her?
Alessandra couldn't help looking around every inch of the church, as it was her first visit in a long time. Her memory of the church was blurry, and there was nothing she could remember. Duke Collins. A man in a white robe greeted the pair at the church door. What do I owe for this visit? Whenever you visit the church, I am meant to prepare for a funeral. I hope that is not the case. Depending on how you act, there will be no need for a funeral tonight, Peter. Edgar greeted the priest. No blood must be spilled in the church, Edgar. You cannot do it again. Peter glared at Edgar. Edgar created havoc in the church when he stormed in to kill a man. That was your fault for hiding a man who committed murder. If you had brought him out, as I requested, the church would not have been a mess. How awful of you to let such a thing happen. Edgar twisted the situation. Meanwhile, Alessandra was surprised to hear Edgar killed someone in a church. How many times was she going to be surprised by his actions the more she got to know him? Why are you here, Edgar? There is no one here but the priest, and I am certain they did not kill anyone or commit any other crimes. Peter wanted nothing more than to get rid of Edgar as soon as possible. Trouble followed wherever Edgar Collins went. I am here to get married. I would like for you to perform the ceremony right away. Peter's eyes drifted back and forth between Edgar and the woman hiding her face. After a moment of silence, he started to laugh. However, when Edgar did not seem amused and the woman did not react to the joke Edgar told, Peter's laughter died down. Why didn't the two of you laugh? Are you seriously here to get married? Do you think I would waste my time coming here for a joke? I don't like to waste my time, Peter. Can you do it? Or does there need to be a funeral and wedding performed by another priest? Do not forget that you owe me, Edgar said, reminding Peter of his knowledge about his past before he became a priest. Very well. Are the witnesses outside? Peter asked, deciding to go through with it to get Edgar out of the church as soon as possible. You are the witness, Edgar replied. That is not how it works, but okay, Peter muttered, then looked at the woman Edgar brought along. Why is she wearing a coat over her head? Is she someone important, or perhaps? Peter waved his hand around his face. Are you ashamed of her looks? My bad, he choked as Edgar's hand suddenly wrapped around his throat. What a strange priest, Alessandra thought to herself. One thing was for certain, her wedding night could never be forgotten.
The air grew thick with tension as Edgar's grip tightened on the priest's throat. Alessandra, hidden beneath the cloak, watched in growing horror. This was not the wedding she had envisioned. This was a descent into chaos, a marriage born of desperation and shrouded in secrets. Will Edgar kill the priest? What secrets does Edgar hold that give him such power over the church? What will happen to Alessandra now that she is bound to this dangerous man? And what truly lies behind the disappearances of women in the city?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Alessandra, still reeling from the recent disappearance of women in the town and the unsettling encounter with her childhood acquaintance, William Lancaster, is about to marry Edgar Collins. At the church, the encounter with the priest, Father Peter, is bizarre and unsettling. Peter, initially hesitant and suspicious, is ultimately coerced by Edgar into performing the ceremony. The atmosphere is tense, and Alessandra is left deeply disturbed by the events unfolding. What secrets does Father Peter hold that give Edgar so much leverage over him? What is the true extent of Edgar's past violence, and what does it foreshadow for their future? Will Alessandra ever be able to escape the shadows of her father's past and the dangers that surround her? What are the long-term consequences of this forced marriage for both Alessandra and Edgar?
You might need to retire, Peter. Your memory seems to be bad.
Edgar released Peter's throat with a shove. He wasn't in the mood to have anyone else disrespect Alessandra in front of him.
It must be bad. How could I forget? You are here to wed this wonderful woman.
Peter tapped his mouth with his hand, scolding himself for making such a comment.
I apologize for the comment, miss.
I wasn't offended by it. It must be strange for someone to come to get married with a coat covering their head, Alessandra replied.
The church has seen stranger things. Now, hand me the rings.
Peter held out his hand, waiting for the rings to be placed in his palm.
You do have rings, right?
Only the engagement ring.
Edgar placed his hand in his pants pocket to fish out the ring he collected a while ago.
Do you like this one?
He showed it to Alessandra.
You haven't shown her the engagement ring yet?
Peter placed his hand on his forehead, almost stumbling backward by how unprepared Edgar was.
If the lady is not pregnant, please come again another time or plan a proper wedding.
Edgar looked behind Peter to a small pile of wires near the altar.
Give me a bit of the wire.
He walked past Peter with the intention of making 2 makeshift rings. He would have proper rings delivered in the morning.
He didn't even say please,
Peter muttered. But with Edgar distracted, he decided to talk to the woman standing beside him.
If you are marrying him just because he is good-looking and rich, think again. I keep telling everyone marriage should only be about love. Are you certain you want to go through with this?
Yes, Alessandra answered. Nothing in this world could change her mind. Peter looked over his shoulder at Edgar, still messing around with the wires.
He can't hear us, you know. You can be honest with me. I took an oath to never repeat what you tell me to anyone else.
I truly want to marry him, but thank you for your concern. Peter sighed, knowing this wouldn't end well. But the young women who visited were always blinded by what they thought was love. They all wanted to get married, but had no idea what they were permanently signing themselves up for. He gave her the chance to think about this, but since she was adamant, he gave up. I would like to ask for one thing. Do you perhaps have proper masks lying around? I don't like to show my face. It doesn't feel right to stand with a coat over my head while you wed Edgar and me. Alessandra wanted to remove the coat altogether and show her face, but could not bring herself to.
There is nothing about this union that feels right,
Peter muttered. He felt like the only sane person here.
Alessandra stood beside Edgar, a man whose intentions remained shrouded in mystery. He had arrived unannounced, bearing only an engagement ring and a desperate need to be married. Peter, a man of faith, found himself questioning the sanctity of the ceremony. Was this truly love, or something far more sinister? Was Alessandra a willing participant, or a captive to a force beyond her control? And what secrets did the coat conceal?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.